Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that we can count on your support. Make sure you visit b4sar.org. Today we're doing a abstract watercolor. What you need is a watercolor set, watercolor brush, water, and watercolor paper. What I'd like you to do is to draw a rectangle on the page, and then within that rectangle I want you to make a couple of geometric shapes. So here's a square. Maybe make another square that's larger, but now we have 3 squares. Then make a circle, and maybe another circle, and let's count how many shapes we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shapes. What I'd like you to do in the end is to have 12 or 13, 14 shapes. We have 7, 8, 9. Let's see what we have now. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's good. If we start with this, first you just do a bunch of shapes on paper. It can be done this way, where you make a rectangle. You can do it whichever way you like. But if you just make shapes like this, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 12. Now we have 13. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Once you've done that, what I'd like you to do is to take this brush, put it into water, and then take a little bit of paint and put in this cup here and add a little bit more water to it. If you want to mix the color and make it a little yellower, you can do this. Once you get the color here, what I'd like you to do is to just color in one of the shapes that you have. Now you could color it in like this, where it's flat. Or if you make a little bit more, put a little more paint, make the color a little stronger, you can color in a part of the shape here, and then add water to it and let the water allow it to bleed a little bit and to get lighter at the bottom. And then you can put a little bit more of that dark color there, and you can get gradated tones this way. Now, as far as coloring these different 13 shapes, you could make them all shades of yellows and greens. You can make them whatever color you like. If it's a little too dark, you can take a paper towel and just tap it. Go straight up and down, and it'll lighten up, and it'll give it a nice little texture there. Let's try another color. Maybe we'll try red here. Take some of this red. I'll mix it with a little bit of this magenta color. And let's start with this red here. We'll paint it here around the area. If you go outside of the line, it's fine. Doesn't matter at all. You're making a painting in the end. You can add a little more color if you like. You can add water to bleed it here like this. Now there you go. Maybe we'll have another area that's really dark, so you're going to have more color. You're always mixing your colors in these pans, not on the paper. Here's an area that's really dark red. But if you really want to mix your colors on the paper, you can do this. Let's say you want to use blue. You can start with putting blue right on the paper. You can add a little water to it, and then into that pool of water you can put another color and let it kind of move around there, and you can get really fun kind of shapes and interesting colors from that. What I like to do is to let these dry a little bit so one doesn't bleed into the other, and then once that's done, you'd paint colors next to it. Like, let's say you want to try an orange color that would go nicely with the red and the yellow. You can put this right here, paint an orange right next to it. And then maybe you could put a little bit of an orange in this one here. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great time painting. Remember, be creative and have fun.